Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. The HomeStory Cup Grand Finals was played very recently. Up here in the top left side, we've got Serral. And up here in the top right, it's CLEM. For me, casting this was played just about 24 hours ago, which is insane. This tournament ran so late that the finals, they asked the players, do you guys want to play a best of 5 or a best of 7? And Serral said, best of 7 is probably better for me, because I get to play on more really Zerg-friendly maps, right? Thinking about, of course, Radhuset Station, thinking about this one, Equilibrium, and whatever the other big map is that apparently CLEM dislikes. Can't quite remember what it is. But yeah, Serral decided, you know what, I'll play best of 5, because this series didn't start till 1 a.m. And it was a pretty interesting road to get here for both players. They looked fantastic. But Serral has been unstoppable recently. I really feel since he added 15-15 to his repertoire, he has learnt so many weird, cheeky timings, odd build orders, and strange transitions that he has become more difficult for his opponents to face. And I really feel this is manifested in his amazing results this year. On the other hand, CLEM has been looking unstoppable online. I'm talking about ridiculous. He's making Koreans look like absolute chumps in the weekly cup sometimes. Not every time, but pretty regularly. And we're talking about the guys like Beyond that used to just beat him around. They used to beat him up and down the schoolyard, and nowadays, CLEM's actually putting up a really good fight and often taking them down. He's become a nemesis of Dark. He very rarely loses to Dark this year. On the other hand, it's a LAN tournament, and we know it's late at night, even though CLEM normally doesn't sleep till about 10 a.m., so this is a much better schedule for him than Serral. He's at LAN, where Serral plays better than he normally does, and CLEM plays worse. And it's always up to CLEM to change that story, because don't get me wrong, he's beaten Serral many times in the regionals, but the regionals are played online. They are not outside of the comfort of his home, and that's why the big question here is, can CLEM adapt to LAN? He had some dicey series earlier on in the tournament, some cheeky Dutchmen giving him a spot of bother, I heard. But it's going to be interesting to see where it goes from here. SCV is going to try and block the southern third base, force Serral to take the front one. Reaper is right there, but the drone goes directly to the extractor. Looks like that third base will go down. Now, this is a pretty standard opening these days. Notice Serral rushed Ling speed. This is not a 15-15, because he was worried about a 2x Reaper or 3x Reaper. He's gone for a very quick Ling speed into a third base, and it was a 28 third base. He then drones up, and does have a slightly delayed third queen with this build order, but his droning is fantastic. Twitch chat is already complimenting the size of CLEM's baguette. Well, it's not always about size, it's also about how you use it, Twitch chat, so... Interestingly, wait, that queen... Oh, he didn't put the tumor down yet. Okay, interesting. He didn't inject the main. Wait, where's the tumor, mate? Oh, he's going to inject the natural and then put the tumor down. Okay. He just wanted to make sure he could protect the creep tumor. Says, don't invest in it until I've got 2 queens here to be sure it survives. CLEM is a master creep tumor sniper, so he's forced a lot of the Zergs to become default overly safe. You know, super careful, because otherwise they lose way too many creep tumors in the early game. Reaper's being a bit of a nuisance. Serral didn't want to pull away from the hatchery because he wanted to inject the hatchery before moving the queen away. Really nice attention to detail. A couple of Cyclones on the way, 2 factory. Now, normally it's 2 factory into bio for CLEM. He normally doesn't play mech, but I have seen him do it once recently. He sees Zerglings with speed, and he says, it's only a few, but still probably not worth risking running inside. I don't know how I feel about this opening. I'm very curious to see how Serral handles it, actually, because he has no scouting information, first and foremost. He's got an Overlord in the back, but he hasn't sent it in yet.
Successful.
And I feel like... Oh, wait, he saw it. Oh, he already came in the back and saw the second factory. Oh, Serral's just next level. And if you're next level, it makes it feel like it's neck level for your opponents, and that's where you want to neck yourself. It's rough, because I don't even think he knows that Overlord's there. So CLEM's like, haha, I'll get him with my surprise mass Cyclone build, haha. And then the thing is, Serral knows this isn't just a few Cyclones and Hellions. He knows this is a heavy Cyclone push. He's going to go Roachmore in there as well. Second gas goes down. 3 Mineral Lines already looking quite healthy as well. Queens can buy time against low Cyclone Hellion count. Notice he wants to move in, move out, move in, move out. CLEM's going to be constantly trying to break the lock-on. Or trying to maintain the lock-on but avoid getting hit. Good Hellion micro. I like the way CLEM's keeping the Hellions back. That's very important. You don't want the Hellions to run in front. They're faster units, So they can take a lot of damage from that sort of move there. He made a slight mistake. All right, Cyclone's going to come in. It's hard to get him in range, though. Remember, it's only about 5.5 lock-on range to acquire the lock-on. 9 is the maximum leash. Third command center does go down in the wall off. We've got barracks coming in behind it. As I said, it normally is into bio. Oh, you got to be careful. Look at this from Clem's vision. The pillar does obstruct vision a little bit if he moves around to the right side. Oh, Marines are in the mix as well. Happy to trade all of his units is Clem. He wants to put the pressure on Serral. But Serral's got a lot of units coming out. Oh, that Ling wrap around is perfectly timed. Clem slips out. Does lose a few Cyclones, though. He wants to save this Reddit Point Cyclone. Units lost tab looks pretty decent for Clem, especially since he's forcing even more units to be built. I would like to see Clem keep those Cyclones alive, though. I think send the weak Cyclones home is super worth it. He gets a Ravager, but he already lost a Cyclone for that, so it's not a positive trade necessarily. Approach speed starts up at 6 minutes, up to 5 gases. Oh no, only 3-4 gases so far for Serral. But he's going to be thinking about a 4th base in the near future as well. Starport's on the way. Double engineering bay and those bio upgrades are massively delayed, which is going to cause him a lot of problems. If Serral can just explode that worker count, get those upgrades going, they won't be too far behind the Terran. And is Clem going to go for mines or tanks? He's building a reactor there. He's got 2 factories, so I guess he could do both if he wants. Tank already does start. Very nice. Already having the 2 factories up is a nice advantage of this opening. Still 5 Cyclones active on the map. He's slowed the creep down a lot. If we think about the advantages of this build, it's not just direct damage, it's presence on the map, and that's what he's done nicely. Cyclones do let that Overlord escape back to the high ground. He's got to be careful. These Cyclones are very fragile. So far, 3 Cyclones, 2 Hellions have gone down. 24 Zerglings, 2 Roaches, a Ravager, and a Queen. 1-1 upgrades on the way for Ling Bane, Infestation Pit, Baneling Nest. Lots of drones for Serral. Serral's going up to 85 workers right now. His Overlord's still in the back. He sees the bio transition, this Oversaw. Now you might be, isn't it an Overseer? No, because he saw everything. It's kind of like when you rank up, some of your units become like Predators or Assassins or something like this. It has like a little tag. You see the Marines are recruit right now, 0 kills. If an Overseer pervs enough, if he sees 6 sets of SCV boobies in the change room, then he becomes an Oversaw. And it's basically the pinnacle of Overseer and Overlord development. You know, every Overlord grows up hoping that one day they can evolve to be enough of a perv to become an Oversaw. Hive just finished up here. Apologies for my voice, by the way, guys. I woke up very early this morning at 5:30 to play in the Magic Twitch Rivals event. Played some Magic the Gathering. Ended up winning that with my pro carry, Jim Davis. I think we won like maybe close to $1,000 each, which is pretty nice. Oh, Marines coming in. Oh, very nice. Marines coming in. Medevac pulling away. Oh, okay. Nice pullback, nice pullback. Attack on the south and the north at the same time. That little squad is not going to be able to hold them back. Double tank production is pretty nice. Oh my god, did he not? He didn't start +1 weapons. Oh no, he did. It's about to finish. Okay, +1 weapons is about to finish for Clem. Oh, here we go. Ling Roach Ravager coming in. Alien Cyclone. You don't want to lose all these units. Cyclones are pretty good at being slippery, but a few Hellions do go down. Marines in the bottom could go back in. Those Banes don't have Baneling speed, so this is a window. He's accidentally splitting his units. Clem's got to be cautious, mate. If you can keep denying those gold minerals, that will be nice. Ooh. Good pullback by Serral. It's a good fight for Clem. Gets like 3 Banelings. Now, keep in mind the upgrades. 2-2s on the way for both sides. Clem, I have criticized heavily over the last year for his bad upgrades. He often forgets them when he's playing Raynor or Serral, the top Zergs. He's remembered them this time. He's got a 4th already going out. He's playing a big macro game, which he needs to. My question is he playing momentum or macro? He's got 3 more barracks and a Ghost Academy. If he builds 2 more command centers, he could start transitioning late game. If he keeps just attacking, then it's all about killing the Zerg, hopefully before these Ultras get on the field. Lovely tank angle. 3 Vipers are building. They're not ready just yet. Ultra Caverns on the way. It's a scary push for Serral to deal with. He's also on the south. Clem microing. Oh god, Clem! Not microing. Does lose a few Marines to Banelings. Not as bad as it could have been. The Marine Cyclone has to be careful. Cyclones aren't quite as fast as Stim Marines, I don't believe. So you do have to be cautious. Ooh, Banelings hit those Marines in a big juicy way. Remember what I said, guys? I don't know if they're faster. Only 4.72 movement speed. Whereas a Stim Marine, I believe, goes up to like 4.9 or 5. It's not a massive difference, but it is a difference, and why I wouldn't personally want the Cyclones microing in my Marine board. Vile's going to go down to take out the tank. Nice single tactical Blinding Cloud to do that. Dropping the bot is still dancing around, but you don't want to lose these tanks. Oh, no. Clem should have backed out when he first saw the Vipers. He could have picked up those tanks and pulled them back, but now he loses them. That buys Serral the time he needs. Serral's going to Ultras right now. 2-2 Adrenal Glands. Remember, this whole game, Clem's been doing pretty well with his aggression, but imagine if Serral didn't know what was happening from the very start with that Overlord. That Overlord Scout changes everything, and it's these early details that makes Serral disgustingly hard to play against. Oh, Queen's actually focused down some Medivacs here. A lot of Medivacs falling, but so is a lot of Zerg. Nice pickups. Abduct. Oh, does go for the Parasitic Bomb. Little slow on that one, but better late than never. Marines redropping the natural, killing a few drones here. Zerglings will deal with it eventually. The Medivac did die with a few Marines inside. Chitinous plating not done. Clem's running out of time. He never built those extra command centers I talked about. He's just started one of them now. 2-2 versus 2-2. Ultras are on the field. There is a drop on the south. There's a drop in the back of the third. Those Marines getting taken down. The Ravagers potentially getting out microed, but there's Banelings there. Watch out, Clem! Gets a few Banelings here. His Marines are heavily damaged. They're not even all able to stim right now. On the south, that Marine Marauder drop goes into the mineral line. Clem not saving many of them. And that does diminish its future annoying capabilities. Ghosts are pretty much 100% necessary. I normally think Ghosts are a bit overrated in the early stages of being aggressive, but when your opponent has Ultra Infested Viper, it is non-negotiable. You absolutely need to get there. Here we go, big attack. Oh no! Whoa, what's Clem doing in the middle of the map? Oh no! Clem out in the middle of the map. There's a Burrowed Infestor as well. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh no, absolutely disastrous. He even chains it. Welcome to D-Town. Clem had to defend. He had to turtle against an Ultralisk style. You cannot keep attacking into that when you're even on upgrades. They've got Blinding Clouds, they've got Infestors and Ultras, and you do not have Ghost to EMP. It's not only the snipes on the Ultras, it's the EMP on the Spellcasters is absolutely vital. Oh, that is a very nice engage. Oh, actually, wait. This could be a big doo-doo for Serral. He cleans up so many SCVs, though, and he does get the expansion. The Ultras are going to try and engage the Bio. The Bio is so wounded, even if he kills this whole army. Clem has taken staggering, devastating damage. I did see this part of the live cast. I believe Harstem said it very well. I couldn't summarize it this well. I was thinking, how do I summarize this? And I remember Harstem's words from the live cast. When you lose 50 workers in a StarCraft game, that usually isn't good. Let that one sink in for a few moments. Words of wisdom from my Dutch brother from another mother. Of course, Harstem with a special way of delivery. I actually did unironically giggle. Had a little chortle. Something about the delivery that man has. Up here in the top left, we've got Serral now on hard lead. And he absolutely ripped apart the hard lead of Clem's army in that game. Now, this Overlord around the back that Serral did, I gotta say, I've been playing a lot of TVZ recently, and that Overlord is nasty. I have recently been leaving my first Marine rallies directly behind the base, because I feel so many players are sending their Overlords straight down here, and if they get back here, I mean, it's so hard. What are you going to do? Hide your buildings up here, and then another Overlord comes in from the other side and sees it for free? So I really dislike letting the Zerg scout for free. I don't think Clem realized that Overlord got in the back, and it was a massive advantage from the start, because Clem's build order was a special tactic. It's something that excels when the Zerg is not ready for it. And obviously, Serral was more than prepared in that game. Yet again, another hatch gas pool. So 16 hatch, 17 gas, 18 pool. Interesting that Serral is not mixing in as much 15 hatchery builds recently versus Clem. I guarantee you, if standard Ling Bane play stops doing well for him, Serral will bring out the 15-15. He'll bring out a lot of Roach Ravager play. Serral has the best range of any of the top players right now. I do think there's a lot of players who can compete with Serral mechanically and arguably are faster than him. Clem, Raynor, I think are both actually better mechanical players than Serral. People will absolutely hate me saying that. I think they're faster. I do think they're faster and a little bit, usually generally cleaner with their clicking. Even Dark. I think Dark's better mechanically than Maru, for instance, right? I just don't think being good at clicking makes up for strategy. And I think when you've got openings as bad as Dark does, you can't keep up with Maru because he's just going to get ahead way too many games. You know, Clem and Raynor might be a little faster than Serral. He's a couple years older than them, not that much older. He's like 25, 26 now, I think. But I think it's more that his range of strategy, his understanding of how they think, his planning that goes into series, Serral really is the complete package. And that's why I absolutely adore what he did in 2019 and 2020, learning how to play a bit more aggressive. But he's taken it to the next level with such a huge range of builds in the last few years. I'd say the only one remaining big flaw, if we could even call it that, is his preponderance to leave matches early. Serral absolutely is a frustrated player when he plays. He's almost a McEnroe. Obviously he's Finnish, so he doesn't say it out loud, but you can see in his physical reactions that his whole competitive spirit thrives on anger. And it's very much, you know, and everyone gets pretty serious when they're competitive in a certain way, but I definitely feel Raynor flows a little bit more and chills, him and Dark, whereas I feel like Serral is a bit more tiltable than those guys. He definitely can get upset and start cascading into mistake territory. It happens very rarely. This is a once or twice a year occurrence at most, but it is, when you're this good, you always end up having your weaknesses talked about. You know, a few people have been saying, oh, why do you always cast Maru when he loses? Why do you only cast Serral when he loses? Sometimes they say, oh, you just hate Serral, you hate Maru. When you're that good, every time you lose, it's a special event. You know, it has to get talked about. I always say this is the downside of being one of the greatest in the game. Serral gets a Zergling and sees its 3 command center without even having to use an Overlord, guys. Full scout of the main yet again. I mean, to be fair, it's one of the more standard builds, but even then, he saw that the starport was about to finish, no tech lab. I wouldn't be surprised if at 4 minutes 10 we see a Spore Crawler built over there, and maybe one down here as well, or over on the right. Because if you don't see a tech lab, you know they're not building a Banshee or a Battlecruiser or a Raven. It's almost always a Liberator or Medevac, and having a Spore Crawler on the edge is very nice. Yeah, I don't necessarily know the age of Serral slows him down at all. He's still incredibly fast. I really don't think age matters that much. It's very hard to judge. I just think that, I mean, we'll have to see. In a few years, if Raynor and Clem slow down, I think that'll be the real litmus test for me. But I think it's going to be hard to weigh up with, like, are they just not practicing as much? You know, if they lose a bit of passion for the game or go to other games, it'll be hard to measure. Anyways, Liberator's going to go around the north. There is a Spore Crawler on the edge, and he really delayed this Spore as long as he possibly could. It's going to be perfectly timed. The Overlord sees it coming as well, so definitely should be moving a Queen over to that right side. There is a single Queen here. Yeah, look at that. He injects and cues it to A-move to the right. Delicious micro from Serral. He's got 3 Queens on the right, 3 Queens on the left. Okay, you got to be careful, Clem. This map is all about tank positions and creep denial, so you can use those tank positions. Right now, Serral is pushing his creep very aggressively. And because it's going so far forward on the right, and he's pushing it quite well on the left, he might be able to take the center and really force Clem to set up his first push very far back. Clem's going for a tank very early, but I feel like this reactor on the starport maybe been forgotten for a moment. Feels a little late. I definitely think he could have started that just a tad earlier. Anyway, 1-1 tank push with 2 siege tanks, 2 medevacs is a really good push on this map. We don't see Clem use that very often. Clem almost always plays more of a standard macro-centric style. Don't see him push with 2 tanks. But I've seen Serral lose his fair share of 2 tank pushes, and I think they're one of the best things to mix in. If he cancels the tanks, starts the medevacs. They do take about the same time to build, telling us he just wants to get the Marines out there with the stim, the shields, the medevacs. Yeah, and he even starts shields before the tank. So it's just a tank on the defense. He'll send drops across. The Liberator has repaired up, so he'll send that. And it's just going to be a mixture of Hellions on one side, Marines on the other, Liberator poking in the back. Nice 3-pronged pressure, great unit preservation for Clem so far, hasn't lost anything. On the other hand, look at the worker count. He's already down 18 workers. Serral has said, dude, if you're just going to play 3cc Hellion Lib, I can make 77 workers. And this is why I've actually grown a little bit wary of doing this opening too much. I was doing the same opening Clem's doing every single game. And every Zerg started expecting it on ladder, and if they expect it or they scout it coming, man, they get greedy. Because the Liberator just is not a high-impact unit. It's an annoying harassment unit, wants to distract you. Serral's so good at handling it. He's held the drone key down. He's now into Massling Bane. Baneling speed about to finish. 1-1 upgrades are ahead for the Terran by a good 40 seconds. With no tank on the front. There it is, single siege tank. Oh no, Clem. Okay, fixes it up. Tank goes back to its corner. It's a decent position. It's hard for Zerg to engage, but I wouldn't say it's high impact. You're kind of giving the Zerg all the time in the world to respond here. Because Zerg can play this game where they stay away from that dotted white line. They can't see that, but he can guess where it is. And the Marines just having to buy time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hellions are here. Hellions are here. Oh, the Banelings all get blasted. Nice cleanup. Ooh. Clem shuts it down. Doesn't lose his Marines on the front. Yeah, pulls away. That creep spread was great. That creep spread really bought him some time. Hellions are here as well. Tank does go down up north. Liberator goes down. Pretty good cleanup for Serral to push the army back, but because of his whole counterattack getting washed, it's an issue. I'd like to see him try to go for another counterattack just to swing in and cut off the reinforce, and maybe try and break these rocks with a few Zerglings as well, just to open up a new path. Leaving that tank there, covering that whole side. Really nice tank positioning for Clem. Hydrodens on the way for Serral. A couple more gases, and still hanging at about 75 workers. It's 1-1 upgrades for both sides. There's a new tank up there. I'd like to see a spready from Clem. And look at that. Hellbat's guarding the tank. Great move. They block your Marines, guys. You don't want any non-Marine units in the mix. Reaper's okay because it's as fast as they are. But no Marine Marauder. Nothing other than Marine Marauder. Or it gets awkward. Serral's going around the south side right now. 2-2 upgrades are on the way for him. Been a while since Serral managed to bag a HomeStory Cup. Rainer beat him earlier this year in the HomeStory Cup that was played after the Sweden tournament. On the right side, Lingbane coming in. Big spready of Marines. Look at that pre-spread. Oh my lord. Clem's been watching Bronster GM. And he even focused the Baneling that was cutting off his Marine retreat. Beautiful pre-spread for Clem. And even though he gets overwhelmed, look at the units lost tab and tell me that wasn't a success for the Terran. You'd be lying, guys. Almost 2-1 in the units lost. He's got a 4th base making a planetary on the left. Serral has been locked. It's arrested development for the Zerg, guys. There is no infestation pit, no hive on the way. He's been stuck on 75 workers. He just squeezed a few more out. But that means he's dangerously low on army against this follow-up here. Widowmine does only get a single Zergling. The Widowmine's rallying in from the wrong side. Bit of a mistake there for Clem. Gotta be careful. Those Widowmines are such a huge part of this push. Marines still stimming in and out. Clem relying on that insane stutter step micro. Overseer having a perv on the 4th. Serral knows he's got to get a good fight. He has to shut this army down. He's got to do it soon. Tank on the bottom side. The Lingbane goes after the bio. He finally splits off to deal with it. Widowmine does friendly fire some units. Oh, the Baneling actually got a big hit on the Marines. But that was in the midst of a lot of Zerg units going down. I think overall a victory for Serral there. But he still needs to get this army off of his doorstep. If Clem's hanging out on your side of the map in your face like this, it's just going to be diminishing returns in the long run. He's not going to give you room to tech up. Serral's building 10 drones in an infestation pit. He's going to get a giant income. But Clem is ready to knock on the door again. He's on the left and the far right. Clem needs to micro this a little bit better. He's got a lot of Widow Mines here, but he needs the Marines to stand their ground and gun down the front-running Zerglings that are trying to activate those Banelings. Uh-oh, Serral, where's your army, mate? Why is it in the wrong position? Another Widow Mine. They keep rallying through the middle of the map. He's got to fix up that factory rally point, guys. He really does. Here we go. Marines dancing on both sides. He picked up on the far right. And he picks up on the far left as well. Widow Mine's getting a few decent hits. Nothing too crazy. But the units lost does tell a story. Close to 2-1 units lost. And yeah, you're a little ahead on income. You're not that far ahead. Serral's going for Hive. He's going for Lurkaden. He's got to hang on until then. And Clem's job is to get a lot of damage before the Hive tech kicks in. 3-3s on the way against a 1-1-2 upgrades for the Zerg. Serral would love to see him start a +2 melee or range upgrade. It's going to be hard to hang on against this. There's a lot of Widow Mines and a Liberator in the mix as well. The Liberator's being added in since his medevac count's already high. Banelings do detonate on the mines. Good manual detonations from Serral. Hydra Queen on the right side does deflect the drop. I feel like Serral's supply is dangerously low, though. This is really good now that the Marauders are in the mix. Somehow Clem's up on 8 barracks. I don't know when he squeezed those extra barracks in. That early 4th base paying dividends here. Serral with a beautiful spready. Holds it back for now, but he needs a new Overseer on that left side. He doesn't have it. And he does morph one and sends it over there. Okay, Serral is still hanging on. If he can do a solar and get those Lurker up, he'll be good. I love the Infester. I think that's the best way to punish Clem right now. Just one good fungal on this bio to stop it stutter stepping backwards will change everything. Watch out for the mines! One big mine lands. Clem pulling back, semi off creep right now. Serral trying to find an engagement, but Clem's army's looking beefy as. The Marauders up front looking fantastic. Clem does have concussive. Once again, I have to compliment Clem's upgrades. He's missed so many upgrades in big tournaments this year. In those high-profile TVZ matches, he's not doing that today. He's hitting it. And even though he gets hit by a Baneling here or there, it's at the cost of a lot of Zerg units, and he is not giving him a moment to breathe. The Infestor's arriving, but guess what? It reveals itself without finding the mark. Or does it? Oh my god, 1, 2, 3. Oh my god! Oh, that medevac with 5 hit points gets away! Clem dropping the right side, almost takes out a queen. Does get deflected, but dude, 2 medevacs still went down, but that 1 medevac with 5 hit points surviving with 8 marines was massive. Infestor, I think he burrowed it. Clem, oh, Serral. Serral doesn't have burrow, guys. He didn't realize. He clicked burrow and then clicked the Infestor on the map. He doesn't have burrow. Oof, that hurts. That'd be a dumb way to lose an Infestor. Defending on the left side. Okay, here comes Clem with another push. Widowmine's getting split against very nicely. Great defense. I think Serral's past the scariest part of the game now. I think Clem's running out of steam in terms of these bio-mine pushes, because the lurkers will be hitting the field really soon. The upgrades are already on the way. That's a good fight. Oh, his whole army's stuck behind morphing banelings. Big mistake for Serral. You gotta be careful morphing banelings around your mineral lines and your bases. Sometimes you block your units. Oh, and big Widowmine splashies. Man, that last minute was a disaster. You have to be aware of where you're morphing your banelings. You can't just be doing that anywhere. Oh my gosh. Okay, the bio is actually getting really good now. Even looking for snipes on these units as they retreat. Not quite able to land them, but it is what it is. There's 5 bases behind this with a 6-1 on the way. Clem is ahead on the bases, ahead on the money. Lurkers were needed in this game yesterday. And Serral's going to start morphing them, but Ghosts are already on the field. Ghosts might not be the best answer to Lurkers, but they counter everything to a certain extent, right? They're decent fighting units. Normally you'd prefer Marine Marauder, because the stim makes them a bit more high damage and microable. But they also EMP spellcasters, and they can snipe Lurkers. It's that ability to be a Swiss Army knife of the late game TVZ that allows the Ghost to be quite threatening. And it's always a no-brainer. Once you got enough money and enough supply, start heading towards Ghosts. Serral forgot Adrenal Glands this game. Great point from the Twitch chat. A couple Lurkers do get sniped there. That's what we're talking about. There are Lurkers that defend the right side in the midst of that, though. So he loses a few Lurkers on the left. The Lurkers stabilize on the right. 2/2/2 upgrades are done. And if Serral could afford +3 carapace, that would be important. He's been fighting for a while now, while down on upgrades. Gets a few of these medevacs, which is nice. 9 medevacs have gone down. Units lost time is 9,000 in favor of Clem. That is a solid advantage. Super solid. He's also getting vehicle plating. I believe we have a fusion core, so lib range and more liberators will come in eventually as well. Lingbane Hydra does advance. Surprisingly, no EMP there on the Vipers, but also no Blinding Cloud on the medevacs. Both players just feeling the stress of this game. Overseer's getting hit by snipes and Widowmines. Serral trying to hang on. He does go for a counterattack there. I like that move. Liberator in of itself might not force you to move, but Serral respects it, and he does actually move. Very nice. Gets 6 workers, gets a little bit of damage. Important to take the fight to your opponent's side of the map once in a while. Snipe does tickle. Well, not tickle, but heavily wounds that lurker on its way out. A few more infestors are on the way. There's still no burrow. There's no +3 carapace. Serral has been taking so many bad trades on the defense. Clem has not given him room to breathe. And this is why I do feel like after this game, I think just the feeling, don't get me wrong, it's hard led. It's Clem's best map. But the feeling of this map, I think Serral may want to play roaches to avoid this scenario. It just feels bad when Clem's able to attack you non-stop on 2 sides and you can never get out from under his thumb. Oh no, an Infestor pops out there. Lurker's getting sniped as well. Oh, Clem ambushes Serral on the map. I like the Parasitic Bomb. Second one goes down as well. Getting some juicy damage, actually. Very juicy. Juicy Lucy. Those 4 medevacs getting wounded. They've seen better days. Hopefully Clem repairs them. Otherwise, they'll die on the next wave. Wingbane trying to defend on the left. 3/3 Adrenal Glands and Burrow are on the way. These are the upgrades Serral desperately needs. He is himself up to 6 bases, the same as Clem. That just goes to show how good Clem's position's been all game, though. Liberator coming in the top. Queen moves around it. Another queen comes in as well. Serral will be able to take it out. He's going to lose a queen. Shouldn't lose a second one. Oh, the Widow Mine! Oh my gosh. Okay, does clean it up. Bane Hydra doing what they can. Liberator coming around the left. He's being a real nuisance. Clem here is being an absolute tentacle in the booty right now. Don't get me wrong. Some people don't mind a Liberator coming in because they're ready for it. They're expecting it. They enjoy it. But when that thing surprises you, that ain't nobody's preference. Nuh-uh. Base in the top left, or bottom left, I should say, going up into a planetary. Keep in mind, there's not that many orbitals. No, he's up to 6. Okay. So he's actually pretty far along on the way to the Iron Bank. It's not 10 orbitals, but it's still pretty good. Clem's also banking a lot of money. Units lost tab tells us he's had 10,000 resources in the units lost. The scary thing is that you are going to late game, and if Serral can split your bases apart, he can start to find a way back into this game. For now, though, he just needs any map control at all. Oh, I love the abducts on the Liberators. Oh, no, watch out, watch out. Okay, Widowmines don't end up getting any big splashies. Widowmine on the left may have got a big one there. Vipers don't have energy left for Parasitic Bomb. They would have loved it in that scenario. Liberators do take a fair bit of damage, but not that much Terran actually dying. Oh, this is a bad move for Serral. That's not enough Banelings to kill that. You'll kill a few workers, which is cute, but if you're going to go for this move, you always need to overcommit, not undercommit. You always send extra units to ensure you get the kill, and now he pays in extra tax. 4, 5, 6 Hydras getting sniped. Oh no. Serral with a terrible miscall, backfiring, and now Clem is so confident. Nice on Burrow. Fungal breaks the snipe. Great one. Serral wasn't close enough to capitalize, though. He'll kill a few units. Parasitic Bomb would be great. He ends up abducting into the Hydras, which is one of my favorite moves. If you wait till your opponent picks up with the Medivacs, then abduct, that's amazing onto hold position Hydras. But it is what it is. Serral got 12 SCVs, which is utterly meaningless. That actually helps Clem at this stage, because Clem can just transfer workers around. He's got lots of mules. If you kill 40 workers, it might be worth it, but killing the planetary is the bigger thing to kill in these scenarios. Getting the workers is a bonus. And when you throw that much Ling Bane away, it's very inefficient. This push is looking very scary. It's a lot of Lib. Dude, Serral can't even max out. Wait, is Serral just dead? He's only got 12 Hydras. I don't think he can fight the Libs. Lib ranges now here. They might not have any attack upgrades, but they've got +2 armor. Serral might be dead. He's got to give up this base, that's for sure. And giving up this base may in of itself be a death sentence. He's kind of trapped back here. He runs in, he runs out. Nidus does pop some counter lurkers on the other side of the map, but with the turret there and the Libs, the lurker's having a bit of trouble right now. Viper's coming forward. Oh man, the Libs just ripped him to shreds. Clem not letting up the aggression at all, and he fights back and strikes back on his map choice. All right. Clem in the top right side, fighting back, going into Alcyon. His opponent in the bottom left, it's Serral. So I actually listen to very little of other people's StarCraft commentary, guys, partially because I simply want to not be surprised. I was spoiled too much for the matches, and often I'm just watching on a phone while doing something else, or in the background, or I'm skimming series. But I think Roddy, I haven't heard other people's pronunciation of this map, but I think Roddy says Alcyone. I think he says it like the same as me, but he just adds a little E on the end, right? Am I right in that? Because I say Alcyon. But I think for him, he's like Alcyon E. And I'm like, we're almost exactly the same, but I think he just adds a little E on the end. I did like the first time I Googled it. I kind of wish I stuck with that. The modern Greek pronunciation of the word is like Alcyone. And I was like, oh my God, I should just do that every cast. This would be even funnier than Yaganatha. Yaganatha is a Finnish word meaning more metal than a whale's carcass or something. You know, so someone made this up and tricked Maynard in the early days of the Jagannatha, or Jagannath is kind of closer to the correct pronunciation. Apparently it's like an Indian or like a Sanskrit word or something like that. And yeah, he basically told me and I just believed him. So one guy in Twitch chat convinced a guy, and I had a bunch of casters calling it Yaganatha for a solid week or two before people told us we were idiots. Just remember, if you ever hear us say something like an idiot, and you know for sure it said a different way, you can let me know. I was casting for years calling stasis traps stasis traps. I just thought it was stasis. I just thought that's how you said stasis. I never grew up talking about the word stasis. And it took years of me casting calling it that. I was like, oh yeah, the stasis trap, the stasis trap, the stasis trap. Oh, sorry, the stasis trap is what I called it. See, now I'm getting confused. And finally, one guy tweeted at me, one of these frothing at the mouth tweets like, you idiot, Why do you say it wrong? Why do you choose to do it? Even though you clearly know how it's meant to be said. You idiot, it's this, it's not this. And I was like, that's actually, like, so everyone else actually was so just like, well, we're just not going to say anything. Even fellow casters. And then it took one angry person on Twitter to improve my pronunciation. So, angry frothing at the mouth guy on Twitter, thank you very much for the angry feedback, mate. It actually helped me pronunciation. I immediately Googled it and went, oh, he's right. It's stasis, because it makes you stay there. That's not why, but yes, it is like, yeah, it's good fun. Wow, the Reaper already got a kill. I actually thought it got 2, but I guess it barely missed out on that second kill. This is actually a true story. Chat's saying this is the BS meter of my brain's out of control. That's a real story, that one. That's actually a real story. I got in trouble at primary school, says chat, for making StarCraft 1 probe sounds. The teacher thought I was saying slurs. You're like, beep boop, beep boop. Are you making fun of the neurodivergent kids saying they're robots? That's disgusting. Don't tease them like that. You're like, no. It's a probe noise. You're calling them probes? They're people too. Don't be so disgusted. Anyways. Reaper does go down. Great distraction, guys. So the Lings go across. They distract, get themselves an SCV. They get a full scout, and he kills the Reaper while Clem's distracted. Oh, that's the classic. The Ling snuck out the top while the Reaper was down here trying to be annoying. This is the downside of being too obsessed with trying to slow the Zerg down, is they can sneak one by you. Dark does this move all the time with a very high success rate. I love that Serral mixed it in here as well. Really good move for him. And once again, this is 3 games in a row where Serral scouts everything. He knows it's a 2-1-1 follow-up. This is actually a disastrous series of openings for CLEM. I have to say, because this is one of the most important maps. Don't get me wrong, Serral picked this map. I actually think Terran can do just fine on this map, and I think they can turtle quite okay into the late game. So we've got to see CLEM shut down scouting in the next game. Win or lose this one. If he lets Serral see everything he's doing by the 3.5 minute mark, 4 games in a row, 5 games in a row, I mean, it's almost a foregone conclusion. And that's really big. Serral, of course, next level on those scouting timings, and I love it. After hard lead... Oh, sorry, I thought that was a Nidus for a second. I was like, what's this? I was like, after hard lead going roaches is great. And then I thought I saw a Nidus, and I was like, okay, it's not just going roaches, but it's not a Nidus. It's a single evolution chamber roach horn play with a quick 4th. Okay, I think this is a Ling Bane style. I think he's going to play a few roaches, maybe get roach speed, maybe just turn them into ravages, and he's going to go carapace. He'll add a second evo for melee upgrades a little bit later. Yeah, quick carapace. Now, you could do a timing attack with a quick carapace. Unlikely he'll do it, but we'll keep our eyes open and see what happens. On the other side, of course, we've got an armory coming in. Whoa, what? Guys, why does he have an armory? He's gone 2 factory. He's going to go mass Widow Mine drop. Oh, old school, baby. Oh, Clem's going old school. Clem is going to go old school mass Widow Mine drop play. Ravages are pretty good at dealing with that. They're pretty good because you can, if you've got Ravages nearby, you can bile them down. And with the ranged attack, you can shoot down the Widow Mines. Whereas Lings often struggle because they'll drop the Widow Mines like in between the minerals where Lings can't get them. But on the other hand, you've got 2 factories, which allows you to build tanks earlier, which is pretty good. Okay, Clem sees the Roachies. He's going to back off for now. Does he keep going for the Widow Mine drops? I think Widow Mine drops can still do very good against a Roach player. We've got to be careful. All right, double upgrades are going to come in. Obviously, slower for Clem, but not that much slower, right? Because there's only 1 upgrade. So Serral's going to have a massive lead on a single upgrade. It is the very important carapace, but that won't necessarily change everything in of itself. 1-1 starts here at 620. Infestation Pit and Baneley Nest. As I said, yeah, I was expecting this. Like Lings and Ultras. Second Evo Chamber will go down very soon. There we go. Nice, nice, nice. This is a really good build for Serral. He's already at 76 workers. He's building 7 more. Wait. Is Clem not Widow Mine dropping? He's taking forever to get these across the map. Okay. Oh my god. Wait. And he only had 1 medevac pop out? Oh, Clem. Clem needed to be Widow Mine dropping. He needs to go now. He's taking forever to get these Widow Mine drops going. He's massed a lot of Widow Mines. I like that he's looking to deny the gold base. But he's still building lots and lots of Widow Mines, and he hasn't got any damage yet. Serral's income is booming. It's Boomtown, baby. Oh, it's Boomtown. I feel like Serral's doing a 3 TC opening here, guys. 4 TC even. The man's playing the ultimate greed right here. He's dropped all the town centers. And Clem needs to get a move on with these Widow Mine drops because there's very cute harassment. He's only got one? Okay, he's got a second one on the right. He needs to pair up this aggression. He needs to link it up to distract Serral. Let's go to Serral's vision and see if Serral gets surprised by this. This is Serral's camera. Serral, he sees the medevac coming in the left. He hasn't noticed it. Those Widow Mines, one of them gets a decent shot. You got to be... Tries to bile it. Here we go in the natural. Oh, medevac gets shot down. He loses 10 drones. Okay, he notices the one in the bottom. This is still Serral's camera, remember. This is his first-person view. In the bottom, the Spore Crawler and the Lings on top. And pretty decent D. Even though he lost 15 drones, he shut down both of all the mines. The medevacs themselves. 13 more drones building. Don't get me wrong. I think you're okay with that damage as Clem. Kind of. But you need another drop behind it. And the problem is he lost his medevac on the left. This one has to rotate home now. And he doesn't seem to have any more Widow Mine drops behind it. Just that single 2 Widow Mine drop. It's not enough damage, guys. It's not enough damage. Even though that evened out the work account. And Serral was a little slow to re-drone. Because he'd just built army. He's got Hive. He's got Vipers. I'll definitely give Serral a little bit of momentum in this game. That being said, it's that maxed out point where Roaches and Ravagers kind of suck. 2-2 starts up for Clem right now. Widow Mine drop's going to come in. The drones transfer into it. But the Lings, of course, going to try and split that up. And they're happy to take a hit. Take one for the team. Only 2 drones going down. Creep is starting to get pushed back a little. Nice triple drop pickup. 4th command center floats out. Going up to 5 barracks into 8 barracks now. Clem's got that 3 base production going. And where are we for Serral? Ultras again. I mean, people out there be hating on Ultras recently, but I'm so happy. I just did a video about Serral's Ultralist build from a few months back and how good it is and how it's even better in the new patch with the Infester being buffed, the Ultra being buffed. This might not be the same opening, the same build order, but I love that it's still the choice at Hive Tech. And I think Serral has such good range as a player, but Ultras combined with Spellcasters, a lovely combo. He's got 1-2 versus 1-1 upgrades right now. That being said, Clem has 3 Marauders, 43 Marines, 4 tanks. It's not a bad force for Clem, but he's far away from getting that high impact damage. Marines do stim on top, taking advantage of the distraction in the back door. Oh, what the hell? Oh my god, he was way too late on the pickup. But look at that! Oh, parasitic bomb into double abduct. Serral with an absolutely Chad maneuver. Huge harpoon, that Viper. Unzips its fly, sticks out its gigantic abductor tentacle, and absolutely ruins Clem's day. Units lost tab is in the favor of Serral, and this is the scary thing. I've talked about this before. If Serral gets enough room to get his spellcasters up early, he trades better than the Terran, especially with these Roach Ravager openings. Clem thrives when he's in the face of the Zerg, making him react. Roach Ravager doesn't allow you to do that so well, and especially with the scouting and the greedy opening that Serral has gone for. Kindness Plating has started up, as has +3 Carapace before +3 attacks even started for Clem. Now, if you're down an attack upgrade against Kindness Plating Ultras, your Marines do not do damage. You will have 8 Marine damage versus 7 Armor Ultras. And that's there a little bit like using a Feather Duster to try to kill your mortal enemy. It does not work very well. Parasitic Bomb Fungal comes in. On the left side, his Marines get picked off there as well. Clem is getting overrun right now. And Serral is trading out his low-tier units very well. He almost wants to get rid of this Roach Ravager at this point, but he's getting so much value. Why would he? He's 1,000 resources ahead in the trading. Serral is absolutely ransacking this game. Baneling's going for the mineral line, trying to take out the repairing SCVs, and they get the boom boom. That is a delicious trade for Serral. Now, obviously, Clem has 2 more command centers. He can stabilize. He's building one in the main as well. He's realizing it is turtle time. The problem for Clem is the man does not know how to turtle. Clem trying to be a turtle is basically, it's just something he can't do. At his core, he is an aggressive Terran, pulling into your turtle shell and defending. I mean, he'd rather impale himself on his opponent's sword. He would rather, he's very Japan in World War II. Let's put it that way. I mean, he's like, actually, that's kind of bad. Well, Japanese Navy in World War II. This is a very obscure reference. Anyways, he would rather attack into a fight and lose it very terribly, essentially, than just turtle up and defend. You can see he's trying to turtle now, but I know Clem. It's only a matter of time until his instincts kick in and he stims out there. And that's where the traps await. Burrowed banelings, and there will be burrowed infestors in the near future as well. Ooh, nice pullbacks here for CLEM. Those Widow Mines, oh my god, Serral shoving it into a choke point like a mad lad. I thought Serral was going to turn around a few seconds earlier, but he's got that confidence going right now. Obviously, it was a positive trade for CLEM. 4 base up against 7. Serral's income, 4,000 minerals a minute, 1,300 gas a minute. Someone recently saw Oppenheimer. I actually didn't watch Oppenheimer, guys. I really mean to, but my local cinema is closed for renovations for the last few months. It's been a bummer. I've listened to way too much war history stuff. Too much Dan Carlin. Too much Battle of Brothers. Battle of Brothers? That's totally what that's called. Band of Brothers. Company of Brothers. Band of Heroes. You're like, now we're just confusing video games and TV shows. Both fantastic, by the way. Alright. Widow Mine Drop doesn't really find much. Queens will shoot it down. Okay, CLEM has to very slowly expand to these 2 bases now. But he can't expose himself to any risk. He's got to be so careful. Tanks and libs would really help him out. I love the Ling Drop trying to sneak around the right side, get scouted by the Vikings. The Vikings are like, oi! You gotta be careful not to get flanked and caught down here. It's only Zerglings. This is not a high-value target. Killing these Overlords does very little for CLEM in this game. Biostims out on that side. Ultra's coming in. The Space Cows are here. Ghost's Bio trying to start a step back. That Widow Mine! The Widow Mine! Oh, it doesn't get a big shot. Serral split a Baneling off to the left. The Marines go down. There's more Banelings trying to find their way into the mineral line. Oh, big boom booms on those workers, not to mention the lifting command center. But actually the planetary survives. Nice D. Nice D, CLEM. Showing that this man has been whacking away those thirsty fans with his baguette for a long time. Say, give me space. I just want to compete. I'm just a young lad. They go, oh, CLEM, your eyelashes are so pretty. You're so handsome. Your StarCraft micro is so good. Won't you micro with me, baby? But he says, no, I am focused on surviving, and he's actually turtling really well. I've got to backtrack, guys. I said he wouldn't be able to contain his urges, and he'd just get really aggressive. So far, he's actually played this very nice on the defense. He's now 2,500 resources ahead in the units lost, which is great. Obviously, being behind earlier in the game, it's great compared to that. It's not great overall. What just happened? Serral just blew up 2,000 resources of Banelings on the rocks, guys. I had the units lost tab open. I heard Banelings blowing up. I couldn't understand what was happening. Serral A-moved his army on the rocks. It accidentally did it. It killed 2,000 or 1 or 2,000 resources of Banelings. A bit of a silly move there for Serral. A rare mistake from the greatest. Widow Mine does fire on the Zerglings. Good defensive position. Is it going to be enough, though? There's a lot of Marauders back there. There's a lot of Marauders, but there's so many Banelings and Ultras. So many. Oh my god, he just doesn't have the firepower. He has to start a step back. He does hold on, but my golly. What a fearsome push from Serral. Now, Serral obviously is going to be losing hefty numbers with a push like that. But he doesn't care because it's a momentum style. Notice he remaxes on Ling Bane, the fastest units to build. 17 minutes to make a Zergling. 17 seconds to make a Zergling. 14 to morph a Baneling. Within 45 seconds, you've got another maxed army ready to hit. Don't get me wrong, Clem's doing a good job of remaxing, but he's not maxed, and a lot of these units are still in production. They take a while to walk down here. He needs to set those defenses up again, add some more turrets, repair some Liberators, and do all that stuff. Clem is playing very impressively. He's got to watch out, because as time goes on, we know that Serral, even if he takes a few bad fights, is one of the most patient and efficient players in all of StarCraft. Thank you so much for the support, everyone who's watching. Really appreciate it. I'm just having to take a break from casting every few seconds to try and get some hot water down my throat, some warm water. That Widow Mine gets another 3 drones. Nice harassment for Clem. Range Lib being a bit of a cheeky D-bag. Transfusers are going to keep that queen alive unless he stops transfusing. Oh, Serral goes on the right. He goes again. Serral dives the right side again. The Liberator's getting a few good shots off. The Banelings find the mineral line. And that's what I was talking about. You need to reinforce the front. Clem left too many units at his rally point, and this time he loses the command center and 10 SCVs. He has to... No, and he's counterattacking. Oh, no. Every time Clem makes a mistake in late game like this, he always counterattacks. And the thing is, Serral has so much money, he's going to remax. If you move on creep, you are throwing the game right now, Clem. I'm not saying he's ahead, but I mean, like, you're pushing your chances down. Notice that the trading on that last fight was actually even for Serral. He's maintaining a 5,000 resource deficit. which is perfectly fine for Serral. Liberator tries to fly in with some Vikings, but look at that. Range Lib says no to the Spore Crawlers. How many queens are left for Serral, guys? Only 3? He's actually building a few more queens, which is curious. I think part of that reason is he wants Transfuse for the late game, because having Transfuse available gives you insane efficiency on those Spellcasters, those Ultras, those Broods, those Corruptors. You want to be able to heal those units. So we got drones being denied there. Drones being denied here. Where are these Corruptors? Has he not got any out yet? Okay, one's popped out here. Clicked it to the top left. Look at this, guys. So he just built 2 Corruptors, and he sent them both to the top left. What about this other Corruptor that's in production? That one he'll rally down there. All right, Serral losing a lot of mining, but he's going to go for it again. Here we go! Here we go! Watch out, watch out. Big giant attack coming in right now. Mass Ultra Baneling marching forward. The Ghosts split. They spread. They cloak. The Command Center lifts. The Workers spread. The Banelings do find the mark on a lot of the bio. And the Drilly Boys. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I would like to see these Liberators maybe spread across these bases just a little bit more. Oh, man. You can't afford to lose 21 Workers. That's what I was talking about. The Liberators have been cleaned up at the same time. I think counterattacking is actually the right call now. It might be. I mean, I don't think he wins the game, but I really feel he needed to protect that economy from a little bit further out front. Maybe a few engineering bays to wall off. It's hard to say because obviously he could get attacked on the left. Has a lot of Widow Mines on that left side. Doesn't have so many on the right. It's hard to get the right balance. You want Marine Marauder. You want Medevacs. You want Vikings to deal with the Vipers. A few of those. You want Libs. You want mines. You preferably want a tank or 2 in the mix. It's a lot of different things to balance. And he's going to have to make sure he keeps moving Widow Mines down to that right side. Scan does clean up that guy. Massling Bane again. Serral's not overcomplicating this. 2 Vipers, 2 Infestors, and a Dream that involves throwing massive amounts of volatile bursts onto your opponent's face. It may not be fancy, but it's what gets the job done when you've had such a good start and you've got this much momentum. Serral is on his map choice here. Viper gets taken out by a Widow Mine. Great start to the fight for CLEM. EMPs then snipes the Vipers. Good fungal unburrow from the Infestor. The Liberators are getting blasted by the Corruptors. Those Corruptors are so big. Now the Liberators back here actually fight pretty well, but notice there's not much Marine Marauder left. Oh my god, the Banelings, and look at that, even unburrows and drops a fungal. Yes, the Infestor goes down, but that is GG right there. There is no way Clem can revive himself. He loses a base, he loses most of his important units like Liberators and Medevacs. And, of course, Serral is just having an absolute party, an absolute ball in this game. Times like this, Clem wishes he had Disruptors or something. But Serral getting the scouting, getting the damage done with those early Zerglings. Let me show you guys right at the start. So this is where it happens. Reaper moves south, Reaper jumps up, and the Lings move out. And it's only a 3 Zergling run by. It's not even a big commitment or anything like that. But these Lings go across the map, they run in before the Hellions are out, and look at the disruption. Kill an SCV, waste mining time, Reaper dies to the Queens at the same time, gets a full scout, and this is just the story of this series. He sees that it was a 2 barracks opening. Clem tries to surprise him with mass Widow Mine drops, but they don't really find the mark. I definitely feel Clem went for the Armory too early and the Widow Mine drops too late. It felt like it wasn't his initial plan. It's something that he maybe tried to do after being scouted, but those Widow Mine drops did not get enough damage to slow down Serral. All right, guys, so here we saw Serral say, you know what, let's clear these rocks, and it looks like it was 11 Banelings. Ouch. It's not the end of the world, but funny to see Serral make that mistake. I've done that many times, many times. All right. Check it out, guys. Clem in the top left side, and actually, he only split 2 workers off. Twitch chat was telling me earlier, apparently I have to check out Clem's worker split. Apparently, he regularly will split 4 workers. He'll go 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, 1 there, all before, like, almost instantly on the split. I've never actually noticed it before. This time he only did 2, but we'll keep an eye on it. Now, he's actually going low ground wall off up against, look at that, guys, 15 out of 14 supplies. Serral's already done an extractor trick. He's going 15-15. It's Oceanborn. It's Clem's second map pick. It's a pretty good map for Terran. As the last one was good for Serral, we're still on each player's map choice so far. But as the maps go on, it becomes more evenly matched. Now, we do see another extractor trick up there to squeeze out a 15th worker again. And Overlord should be coming out in a second on 100 minerals. And then we want to see a spawning pool no later than 1 minute and 4 seconds. How many more minerals does it get you doing an extractor trick? Well, it works nicely with this particular build to allow you to get a slight net positive. Spawning pool goes down 1 minute and 2 seconds. That's crisp, very crisp build order. Most build orders, you lose money doing an extractor trick. And most players fumble it, so they lose money because they spend so long with the drone running over there, building the gas, starting the next drone, cancelling it, putting the drone back. But the better you are at executing it, and when you squeeze it into a build where it really makes sense to do it, like this 15-15 that has 2 extractor tricks built into it, it works splendidly. Now, is Serral going to play his 2 workers on gas into rallying to the natural 2-base roach build? Clem's only doing a single barracks. So it's 1 Rax expand on the low ground, a little vulnerable. So he won't have double marine production. Serral's already rallied a drone. He needs to tell that one to return cargo. There we go, nicely done. And check that out. Yeah, 2 drones on gas. Oh, he's rallying a 3rd onto gas, actually. That's interesting. I thought he'd go straight to the natural. He's rallying a 3rd. He's going to see the factory there right now. So it's just a single barracks factory, very fast. Was this a gas first? That's a very early factory. Oh, this was gas first, wasn't it? Ah, I like this. Because the barracks is on the natural, it still arrives about the same time as a normal barracks gas. And you have the wall off, so Zerglings can't run in. Oh, people were saying they were actually asking about the CLEM split on the minerals, not the 15-15. Just the workers bounce around and take a few seconds to find a mineral patch. If you don't do it, it gives you a couple of minerals. It's very slight. Just those first few trips are going to be mined slightly earlier. I only split off 1 or 2 workers usually. 3rd base does go down. And that's a pretty early 3rd base, so it looks like it's more like a standard Zerg vs Terran, just off a 15-15 opening. Doesn't look like it's his roach build, and that's fair enough. 2nd gas is done. Oh, so Clem's actually playing a 2nd gas build this time around into a 2nd factory in the main base. Clem's really enjoying his 2 factory TVZ openings this series. So it looks like it'll probably be a heavy cyclone. Yeah, 2 cyclones to start. That's a pretty nice way to do it. The problem with this map is the pillars. Notice that Overlord, completely safe, great vision. This Overlord here, completely safe, great vision. And that vision advantage, I would say, is very frustrating. If you can float your barracks to kill them, that's nice, but that gives away that you're playing mech. And we know Clem likes to play bio after the 2 factory opening, so it's going to be tough. Two Hellions on the way. Hurricane Thrusters starts up. I'm still a little surprised that everyone was hating so much on the Hurricane Thrusters name. Everyone's like, I can't believe it. Speed upgrade called Hurricane Thrusters. What did a 6-year-old think of this? Oh, no, Clem! Oh, Serral with a perfect Ling Speed surround. That is a gigantic finish man maneuver. Beautiful play, beautiful play. Solid as a bloody rock, man. Clem's got to be spewing after that. That's such a bad start. Look at this, he's going to get a Hellion as well. Oh, good juke. Just when he was about to get surrounded, he turns around, joins those Hellions together. Oh, that's nice. Isn't Hurricane Thrusters a P-Star's, a Prawn Star's name? Not quite. It almost sounds like it is one, just not quite. Gotta watch out, guys, when Mr. Sins upgrades Hurricane Thrusters. That's when you know there's going to be all sorts of viscous Zerg goo all over the place. For now, though, a fantastic start for Serral as he goes Lair and Roachhorn. 2 Spore Crawlers are on the way. Oh, get out. Clem's going a bit too deep. He's got to be careful. Okay, I like the way he keeps those Hellions back a little bit. Already draining a lot of the Choose energy, but you don't want to go so deep on creep. Yeah, he's trying to threaten him, and he's forcing Serral to build a lot of army, but Serral's already on 57 workers. 3rd command center is about to finish. Clem now going stim, double engineering bay behind this, along with a 2nd barracks. Serral's got such a good worker start after killing those 2 cyclones. That's so nice. Two Evo chambers, 10 more drones are on the way as well. Starport coming on down. Serral, I wonder if he goes ranged upgrades here. I don't think he will, but you never know. He doesn't build that many Zerglings, right? Probably starts the Carapace first off. Doesn't quite have the gas just yet. He's making more Roaches and Ravagers for now. That is a lot of Cyclones to commit to this early. They're not the worst unit. They do support your army decently. So I don't think it's terrible to invest in so many. You definitely don't want to be chucking them away. It's always hard to decide when do you commit to the aggression and when do you pull back. Oh, oh no. Oh no, his wall's open. Oh my god. Oh no, not like this. I mean, Clem was already behind, but Serral absolutely takes him to Diddletown. That was brutal. There was nothing at home. He's going double upgrades. He's trying to get all of his add-ons and buildings. He loses 12 workers. I don't want to be the hype killer, but guys, I said at the start of this series, when I was watching live, just before the series started, I was in the Twitch chat, and you know what I said? I said, guys, this series won't be over till 3 a.m. It's starting at past 1 a.m. This actually really favors Clem, because Clem is normally not sleeping till 10 a.m. every day in Central European time. So, I mean, it's like afternoon for him, you know? It's late afternoon at latest, whereas for Serral, he normally sleeps on a really healthy sleep schedule. But looking at this, I think Serral knew this tournament might run late. It looks like he adapted his sleep schedule, or he's just a god, because he has played so well. He's scouted everything. He's won the early skirmishes. These two factory openings did not play out well for Clem at all. And I definitely think these weren't the right builds to play against Serral, at least not on this day. Maybe if he hid the information better, I'd be thinking differently. I'd be talking differently about it. But with the way things played out, Clem's builds fell flat. And Serral, yes, he played very good. I don't even know if he outplayed Clem in the mid to late game. I actually think it was pretty evenly matched, but he just got bits of momentum. Took away Clem's ability to do what Clem does so well, which is just overwhelm and micro and play a standard game and run over the top of you. Clem's not Maru. He doesn't make those epic late-game macro comebacks when down 60 supply in the early game. He relies on momentum to be in a good enough position to push forward and keep on pushing, and Clem is so far behind. Don't get me wrong, he's microing pretty well here. I like the micro. He's got the tank there, but he's down 20 workers. I mean, Serral has a 5th base. Hydra upgrades. Hive's almost finished. Lurker Den. He's just building everything he could possibly think of. Clem's trying to micro his way out of this with the Marines, but this is a bit of a disaster, mate. One of the casters said Clem woke up feeling sick. Let's just say there's a lot of liquor at Homestory Cup, guys. I believe the grossest liquor I've ever had at a LAN, other than White Ra's horseradish vodka, that he made me drink at was it 2013 DreamHack Summer, 2014 DreamHack Summer, I think it was. That was one of the nastiest things I've ever drunk. The second nastiest is some special liquor that Take TV make themselves. They get it hired from some disgusting, it's like some German specialty from the old days when people used to think drinking nail polish was a good idea. And Parting gave me a drink of this at the one Homestory Cup that I've actually been to. He said, Pigu, you got to try this, you know, come. He's like, come. And he made me drink it with him. And I was like, that is actually disgusting. And Parting was just laughing. He's like, yes, gets you drunk. Very, very disgusting. And I'm just like, yep, Parting in character as always. Whether he's sober, whether he's drunk, he's the exact same human. It tasted so bad. And I'm pretty sure when that's around you all day, you start thinking, well, that's the culture. I'll just have a beer or two after day 2 of the tournament. And if you're a little guy like Clem, I'm pretty sure his body weight's like 45 kilograms, just looking at his frame. I'm pretty sure he probably got a big hangover just from 2 or 3, especially those big German beers. Half of them are like 8 or 9% alcohol. Clem may have woken up a bit hungover. That being said, he's still hanging in there. He's got 2-2 upgrades on the way against the 2-2 Zerg. He's got the 4th going towards that right side. He's going for Ghost Academy. He's going to try and claw it back. And let's be real, Roach Hydra Lurker is one of the worst long-term compositions for Zerg. As far as the Hive Tech compositions go, this is the one that doesn't scale too well. He needs damage and he needs it soon. Serral has an opportunity here. If he can get those Viper spells off on the tanks, that'll be massive. The Widow Mines aren't able to fire just yet. Oh, the Lurkers will clear those Widow Mines. One of them does pull back. Nice micro, but those abducts. That's what we were looking for. Beautiful abducts there from Serral. He's going to abduct yet another tank. Roach is taking it out. Does take a few nasty tank shots, but you see the absolute power there. Oh, and Serral sees him out of position. The Overseer set up the pervert. He saw the whole army move right. And he says, wait, if you're not going to defend those tanks, I'll just Blinding Cloud and jump on them. Very well done. Very, very, very well done. Okay, Roach Ravager Lurker coming forwards. +1 melee, +3 carapace going on. Roach Ravager dancing around. Ghost looking for snipe opportunities. Not quite getting it. I mean, Clem's setting up a good angle, but he doesn't really have the tools. Those tanks need to clear this. Oh, look at that. He biles a Viking. Serral chucks a Dark there. Biles an air unit down. Ling Roach on the right being annoying. Lurker does do some damage. Oh, big intercept. The Lurkers get burrowed though, and once the Lurkers are burrowed, oh no. Clem's army on the top right is deep in the red. Oh no, those are some very sunburnt Marines and Marauders. And that is a big Lurker army up the guts. The tanks aren't over here, and without the tanks, he can't hang on. Those Marauders all get blasted. Serral has it. He has it 3-1 grand finals. And I gotta say, not as climactic, not as back and forth as we often enjoy in these sort of games. It wasn't terrible by any means, but this is the sort of thing that you get. HomeStory Cup is a long day of games. The players are sometimes drinking and stuff. These guys are much more serious because they're the guys that can win this tournament. Clem's been in the finals this now twice, I believe. But Serral stayed focused, and I really feel it came down to his ability to just play his A game, scouting everything Clem was doing. From the very first game, that Overlord sneaking in the back door, he just was ready for everything Clem threw at him, and Clem did for some very special build orders. If he was playing stock standard, being scouted wouldn't have been as big of a deal, but he was hitting timings that relied on surprise, and Serral was never surprised. GG, well played. Good on you, Serral. Champion of HomeStory yet again.